Finally, we have got some real-life battery numbers of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. The results was shocking. Not one or two, we have 3 battery test results. So watch the video till the end. Recently, a fellow YouTuber named ZTechCare did a test to see which phone has the best battery life. They tested the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Pixel 8 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the older Samsung S23 Ultra. They used different apps in this test like YouTube, Facebook, a racing game called Asphalt 8, and a tough test called 3D Mark. The outcome of this test might be unexpected or just as you thought, depending on what you were thinking before. Even though the Galaxy S24 Ultra has the same size battery as the older S23 Ultra, both at 5,000 mAh, the S24 Ultra did much better in the battery life test. It lasted almost 11 hours, while the S23 Ultra only lasted 8 hours and 10 minutes. This big improvement is because the S24 Ultra has a better chipset and software that's been fine-tuned. This shows that Samsung is really working hard to make their phones more efficient. The iPhone 15 Pro Max, which has a smaller battery compared to the Galaxy S24 Ultra, lasted 10 hours and 20 minutes in the test. This means it didn't last as long as the Galaxy phone and lost its position as the top phone for battery life. However, it's interesting to note that even though the iPhone's battery is about 11% smaller than the S24 Ultra's, it only lasted 5% less time. This shows that the iPhone is really good at using its battery efficiently. In this test among top-end phones, the Pixel 8 Pro came in last with a battery life of 10 hours, just a bit shorter than the iPhone. It's important to point out that all 3 of these flagship phones, the Galaxy S24 Ultra, iPhone 15 Pro Max, and Pixel 8 Pro, have shown great improvements in battery life compared to the older models. For everyday use, people might not really notice a big difference in how long the battery lasts. The test by ZTechCare didn't go into details like how healthy the batteries were in each phone, or their screen resolution and refresh rates, which are all important things that affect how long a battery lasts. But the test did show that all 3 phones have good battery life. This means that users can pick any of these phones and still expect good performance from the battery, which is something a lot of people care about when choosing a phone. You can also watch the full battery test video of ZTechCare. Link is in description box. Now let's talk about the second test results, and the results was shocking and different than the first test results. Yesterday, TechDroider posted a battery drain test video of Samsung S24 Ultra, iPhone 15 Pro Max, Pixel 8 Pro, Xiaomi 14, and OnePlus 11. In this test, first he plays PUBG Mobile on all phones for first 3 hours. Then he used YouTube for continuous 3 hours with 4K at 60 frames per second. After completing these 2 test sessions, the remaining battery percentages for each device were as Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, 44%, iPhone 15 Pro Max, 50%, Google Pixel 8 Pro, 27%, Xiaomi, 37%, which is comparatively lower, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, 40%, OnePlus 11 to 28%. Next test was browsing test, Chrome/Safari browser used for this test. Next, he used Instagram, and at the end, he uses camera on all phones until they die. The final results was shocking. Let's break down the results of the battery life test for these flagship phones. Pixel 8 Pro, it was the first to run out of battery at 8 hours and 44 minutes, which is quite decent. Notably, it didn't heat up much. OnePlus 11. This phone followed, shutting down at 9 hours and 13 minutes. That's a respectable performance for a last-generation flagship. Xiaomi 14 Pro. Next, it lasted until 9 hours and 25 minutes. It heated up quite a bit, which is not ideal, but the performance is still not bad. Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Surprisingly, it lasted until 9 hours and 50 minutes, an impressive duration for a last-generation flagship. Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. This model went out at 10 hours and 6 minutes. It has a 5,000 mAh battery and the latest 8th Gen 3 Galaxy Silicon, but it was the one that heated up the most, something important to consider. iPhone 15 Pro Max, the winner here, lasting 10 hours and 48 minutes. This is quite remarkable considering its smaller 4,441 mAh battery and the powerful A17 Pro chip. According to TechDroider, both the Samsung models and the iPhone were outstanding in this test. However, it's important to consider the high-resolution display of the Samsung phones and the smaller battery size of the iPhone when evaluating these results. Now, if you remember, in the ZTechCare's test, Galaxy S24 Ultra was the winner, and in TechDroider's test, iPhone 15 Pro Max is the winner. You can also watch the full battery test video of TechDroider. Link is in description box. Now let's move on to the third Tom's Guide battery test results. This test involves browsing the internet on a 5G network with the screen brightness set to 150 nits. In initial tests, the Galaxy S24 Ultra had an impressive battery life, lasting 16 hours and 45 minutes. Its screen is in adaptive mode, which adjusts the refresh rate between 1 and 120 Hz depending on what you're doing. This time is over 4 hours longer than its predecessor, the Galaxy S23 Ultra, which lasted for 12 hours and 22 minutes in our tests. In the Tom's Guide battery test, the iPhone 15 Pro Max lasted for 14 hours and 2 minutes. While that's a good performance, it's still almost 3 hours less than the Galaxy S24 Ultra. On the other hand, the Pixel 8 Pro only lasted for 10 hours and 3 minutes, falling behind the S24 Ultra by more than 6 hours. The new processor might be the reason for the huge difference in battery life between the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Qualcomm, the maker of these chips, claims that their Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is 25% more efficient than the previous Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And now looking at the test results, the improvements are incredibly impressive. The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has one of the best battery lives ever seen in a phone. Samsung announced on its South Korean community forum that the following camera features from the Galaxy S24 will be made available for current Galaxy phone models. Improved single take. Ability to create long exposure photos using motion photo. Extracting a frame from a motion photo and using artificial intelligence upscaling to create a 12 megapixel representative photo. Ability to add estimated color to your black and white or grayscale images. HDR video support in social media apps. Cross-device video editing on Galaxy tablets and laptops. The Galaxy S24 has a better version of this single-take feature, which lets you choose a zoom level before you take a picture, including using the 5x optical zoom. It can now recognize pets, making it easier to take good photos and videos of animals. Also, if your Galaxy phone has motion photo turned on, you will be able to use extra frames to make a photo that looks like it has a long exposure. This is similar to what you can do with live photo on an iPhone. These improved camera options, single take, and creating long exposure photos from motion photos will be available on older models like the Galaxy S23, S22, Z Fold 4, Fold 5, Flip 4 and 5, and the Galaxy Tab S9 series. Samsung had earlier announced that many of their Galaxy artificial intelligence features will be added to the top Galaxy phones in the first half of 2024. The new camera features are expected to be included in this update as well, which will probably be the One UI 6.1 version. Here we have some photos camera comparison between Galaxy S24 Ultra versus Galaxy S23 Ultra. Credit goes to Ice Universe. Ice Universe said, "It seems that what you haven't noticed is that the color style of Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has changed a lot. Compared with S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra's color processing is more like Apple and Google. Do you like this change? I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribing to the channel would be greatly appreciated. That's it for today. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. As always, see you in the next video. Peace out."